Hey everybody, welcome back to the Budget Bladesman. Today we're going to be looking at a little bit higher price knife today. We're going to be looking at the Gerber Fastball. So let's go over the specs. Okay, so we are looking at an overall length of 7.1 inches, a blade length of 3 inches, a blade thickness at 0.10, so it's a very thin blade for an EDC knife. It comes in at 0.279 ounces, so we're well under the ounce and inch line. We are looking at, for this particular one, a Warncliffe style blade, and the blade steel is CPM S30V. So if we take a look there, S30V. Okay, and this is a tip up, so we'll close this up real quick. You can see tip up, it is ambidextrous. That's our right hand carry and our left hand carry. It is a flipper opening mechanism with a liner lock, as you can see there. It is made in USA, so made in USA, Portland, Oregon. And for this particular model, we're looking at $99.99. They do start at $74.99, depending on the color of the handles here. And this is an aluminum handle. Okay, so let's pull out our comparison knives. So first, we're going to pull out our K-Bar dozer. And as you can see, it's pretty close to being the same size as a dozer, which is our standard for EDC carry. Go end to end there. See, it's pretty much dead on, and blade length pretty much dead on as well. It does have a little bit of a sharpening choil there. And then we'll pull out our other Gerber here, the Gerber flat iron. You can see definitely a difference in length. If we go end to end there, you see all the way to the end, there's definitely a difference in length there. If we go sharpen blade length, you'll still see there's a little bit of a difference. Okay, so let's close these guys up. And we'll move on to see how these sit in the shorts / khakis. So close this up here. Pull out our shorts here. You see, this is a very thin knife, as far as the width of it, I should say. We can get that in there. A little bit hard to do on camera sometimes. There we go. Okay, so you can see it is not a fairly deep ride clip. You're going to see quite a bit of it sticking out there. We got our hand in there, but it is, like I said, fairly narrow, so there's plenty of room in that pocket. We pull this out. You can see this is our knife right here, so there's tons of room for a front pocket wallet, multi-tool, your phone, whatever you want to fit in there. There's definitely tons of room in there. All right, let's go kind of over some things on this knife. Now, as you know, this is a made in the USA knife. This is the Warncliffe style. They do actually also offer this in a cleaver style blade. Basically the same specs, except it's cleaver style. The blade steel is CPM 20V, so it is a better steel. But those go over $100. I think they start at 110 and go up from there. Like I said, for this color of handle, this one's $99.99. If you get the gray in this version, it starts at $74.99, so it just depends on the color of the scale that you're looking at. So I really did want to like this knife. It is a good size, good action, everything else, but it's just kind of some of the small details of this knife that I'm not thrilled with. So you can kind of see the angle on the grind there. You see it on this side. So if we flip it over, you can see that it's higher. If you especially look at that tip there, it's higher on this side than it is on this side. And if you're spending $100, you can see right there, on a knife, you want something like that to be the same. There's no way that should be different. I think if we kind of look down the tip there, you can kind of see the one side where it's higher, which is something that shouldn't get through quality control. And if we close this up, if you look on, see if we can kind of zoom in here, you can kind of see the finishing right in here on the liner, on the locking liner right there. It's just not very smooth. It's like they didn't really finish this off. You can kind of see it better there, where they just didn't really do a good job of smoothing it out. Now, I will say I did reach out to Gerber. I gave them more than a month. I do understand it was during the holidays, but even still, after the initial email I received from them, I haven't heard back from them, and it's been over a month. And, they didn't say, hey, send the knife back in or anything like that. So I feel like, if they're not going to respond and they're going to let like this sort of stuff go through their quality control, that's not a good sign. And this is an made in American knife. And just, we'll bring out the Gerber flat iron again. And just, this is made in China, okay? And the finishing on this is much better. And this is also a Gerber knife, so it's not, I'm not trying to play a favorite or anything here, but the finishing on this is better. And this is from an overseas, firm for them. This isn't, the United States company, or I shouldn't say that. Gerber is a United States company, but this isn't manufactured in the United States. It's manufactured overseas for them. You see the grind angle on this. If you can focus there a little bit. There we go. You can see there. The grind angle is even. This is an overseas made, produced knife for Gerber. This knife is produced in the USA for Gerber. So this does not lead me to have a lot of confidence in the United States manufacturing. This really shouldn't get out of the factory like that. Just for an example, I'll bring in another knife we haven't reviewed yet, but I recently picked this up, this Spyderco. This was a seconds knife, and for those of you who don't know what a seconds knife is, it is, let's move these out of the way here. A seconds knife is basically they thought something was wrong in quality control, so they decided it wasn't being able to be sold in their initial run. So this is something they felt was flawed. I looked over this knife completely, and I could not find anything wrong with it. The grind angle is fine on this. As you can see the grind angle. The only thing I could see is, I believe it was on this side, is there's some scratching, I believe in here, but it was so light that I couldn't really tell. Now this notch right here is to mark that it is a second, so that's not that. But I looked over the rest of the knife and I couldn't find anything like that. So that just tells you the difference in quality control. If something like this, which, if somebody told me this was just a regular knife, this wasn't a seconds knife, I wouldn't have known. But something like this shouldn't get out of a shop. There was not enough quality control done on this knife, which leaves me very disappointed. Maybe I just got a lemon. I don't know. Like I said, I reached out to Gerber and have yet to hear back from them. It's been over a month. It's actually been about a month and a half now. So, like I said, maybe this is just me. Maybe I just got a bad one, but it does leave something to be desired. I wouldn't recommend spending $100 on a knife that is going to come out with this type of quality control issues. Like I said, that's just me, just my opinion. But like I said, when you have something like that, where it's just not smooth and, really taken care of, there's not the attention to detail, it doesn't really make me want to spend my money with them. Gerber has some new good designs, and this, like I said, this is a knife that I really do like the design, I do like the shape, I do like the action, but the quality control issues are really what bothers me. Like I said, just my opinion, but maybe if you're looking to spend $100, I would go towards the previously reviewed Gerber Para 3, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the Spyderco Para 3. It's also made in the U.S. It's around $95, I believe, is a 3-inch blade. Or if you want something else that's made in the U.S. that starts around $75, maybe go with the Buck 112 Slim Pro. That also has S30V steel, and it also has micarta handles. So maybe those are a couple other options for you. If you're looking to spend that type of money, but maybe not with the quality control issues. All right, guys, thanks for checking in. We'll check you next time.